Hey, Victor.
In early 2022, Derek's story gets out and goes mega viral.
So we all remember Judge Connie Holt. She's the judge who allegedly intervened with the arrest of Jordan Hardy. Well, on February 22nd, she recused herself from the case, and this is massive. I say this because 2 days later, Connie Holt took out a protective order against Derek, essentially trying to bar him from making any TikTok videos. And again, I'm the one who make the videos, not Derek.
Because Judge Holt, the presiding judge over his case, was named in those videos, the judge filed a stalking protective order against Derek, attempting to ban Derek from making further TikTok videos. So before we get to the protective order that the judge filed, because we really need to dissect this real quick, I'm going to present to you a disclaimer. Now that that important detail is out of the way, let's go into this protective order. In reviewing this protective order, you'll see that a lot of the evidence that Judge Holt presented against Derek was based on his attitude, his anger, and his disposition. Why this is important to bring up is because Black men and Black women are constantly discriminated against, let's just say that, because of how we express ourselves, whether we're in anger or in our normal demeanor. We are viewed as overly aggressive, loud, angry, the angry Black man, the angry Black woman. So I wanted to point that out because this is what the narrative seems to be framing, an angry Black man. But let us remember that Derek was in his 20s going against an older woman who was the judge, and also a family of 4, mainly adults. The judge stated in her petition that Derek stormed into her office and was very upset about the good behavior bond that she had issued against him. That was the stay away order where he had to stay away from his property for 6 months. He came in very aggressive and loud and threatening and had to be escorted from my office chambers by Morgan County deputies. Now, this is very interesting because when I cross-reference a report filed by one of her deputies, it states in here that the deputy entered Judge Holt's office to keep the peace. He stood between the judge and Derek as they continued their conversation. Okay, these words are very important. Upon becoming aware of my presence, Mr. Williamson lowered the register of his voice. Okay, it goes on to say that Mr. Williamson agreed to leave when Judge Holt indicated she was done with the conversation. I would have observed to make sure Mr. Williamson left the courthouse peacefully. Mr. Williamson left the building with no further action taken. But in her TPO, he had to be escorted out. So I'm confused. When did this happen? But this was the narrative being presented to the courts to get this restraining order put out against him. But what's interesting is that in here, she points out that Mr. Williamson had posted videos of her and court documents. And because of that, she began to receive emails to her office, very disturbing messages and threatening messages. Mr. Williamson had no direct contact with the judge because she found that he put her picture and name, which is all public record, okay, on his TikTok page and his Facebook page, and allegedly made slanderous statements against Judge Holt. Per a statement from Mr. Williamson, he stated that the only term that he used was that she and the system was corrupt. And that one word is what she took as a slanderous statement. The judge closes her petition by saying, at this point, with all the harassing emails and videos and phone calls to my office, I feel threatened and in fear of my safety and the safety of my clerks in the office as well. Interesting that she wrapped up this petition pointing to the emails and the videos and not the situation in her chambers.